Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm working on week 13 of my 2023 Project Life album, and things are a little bit different this week. This was the first week that we had Pearl at home, so obviously there were like 10,000 photos of kittens and not a whole lot of photos of anything else. I figured, why fight that? I'm basically just making an insert that's all about Pearl. So I'm gonna keep things pretty simple. I've got an enlargement of Pearl and I's first selfie there, and a couple of other little photos, and I've just grabbed a bunch of stuff from my stash. I started by looking through my 3x4 card stash. I pulled out a couple, and then I stopped. I thought, I don't need any more cards on here. I'm just going to use some stamps and some of these smooth cardstock pads from scrapbook.com and just kind of go with what I've got. So the whole thing is basically based off that rainbow striped 3x4 card. No idea where that's from. I want to say it might be a Studio Calico card. And basically I've just picked two colors of cardstock to go on either side of that to kind of continue that rainbow top and bottom. Now, I used my first stamp set, which I happened to get. I got it for a Grab 5 challenge I did over on my Patreon page, and I really liked that big hello. I kind of had that space down the bottom of my large photo there, so I stamped it in white, Moonlight White ink. It wasn't, my ink pad's not the juiciest. It's a little bit dry, so I took the risk and double stamped it twice, and I think I did a pretty good job, which is better than usual. It was definitely a risk for me, so it is nice and white on there. So that's really all I'm going to do to that photo enlargement. I really want that just to be a bit of a focus, and because it's black and white as opposed to the entire rest of my spread, which is all colourful, it stands out very nicely. So my first little 3x4 card with my smaller photo, I'm just going to layer up a label, and I've got an older set from Kelly Stamps. I think it's called Cat Lady, maybe. I wish it was still available, but it is not. Kelly Stamps is no longer, so I hoard these ones like crazy. I stamped one of the kind of label stamps first, so it's just got this little black and white snuggle time, and then another stamp I stamped underneath that on top of the label. Now the second 3x4 card I'm going to do a little bit differently. I'm going to stamp kind of tone on tone here. It says you had me at meow, which is totally true, but she's got her little rainbow ribbon ball there, so it was perfect for that rainbow colored card. Now I did grab a plain note card for journaling, but I do want to like kind of fancy it up a little bit. So I grabbed some rainbow washi tape. They're not exactly the same colors, but it's rainbow enough that it works. And I'm going to use that same blue oxide ink that I used for the other rainbow card just to stamp a tiny little sentiment down here at the bottom. I can run that through my typewriter later on. So this blue card, I wanted to do like a filler card in here, and so I'm going to use these alphas from Citrus Twist to stamp out a little tone on tone meow. I don't have a whole lot of kind of cat themed supplies, but I did go through my puffy sticker stash, and there were several sets in there that had like at least one cat sticker on there, and so I wanted to kind of create my own wee filler card. I'm gonna stamp out meow, and then I'm gonna add a little puffy sticker, so it really is just gonna depend like which puffy sticker I end up choosing. There were a few options here. I liked this little round one because it was white, but in the end I did go for this Rosie Studios Lucky Cat sticker. I thought it was pretty cute. I've got a couple of lucky cats hanging around my room here, and now I have one more lucky cat, so I thought that was cute. Has a little pink bow around its neck too, which was perfect for Pearl. And I decided, since I had the puffy stickers out, I would add a little heart onto my kind of wee cluster, and then I added a little love you scripty puffy sticker onto my rainbow card. So I went ahead and ran that journaling card through my typewriter. It was a little bit messy. In the end, I kind of wish I had run it through my printer, but it is what it is. I kind of embrace the mess when it comes to typewritten journaling like that. My typewriter is very old, and so it's a little bit kind of temperamental. I just have to go with what I've got. Now for my very tiny little title card here, I am going to use some of these number dies from Studio Calico. They have an outline and a solid die in them, so I'm going to end up cutting these twice. I wanted to get a little bit more lightness into this card, so I want to add kind of as much white as I can, but I also want to get some color in there. And I'm kind of heavy on pink and blue at the moment in this spread, and so what I want to do is get a little bit more yellow in there because there's that kind of yellow and orange band on the rainbow card. I really want to bring a little bit more yellow in here, so I'm going to do that by die cutting those numbers again from some yellow cardstock. I'm not going to use the big solid ones though. The die cuts both pieces at the same time, so I sort of cut both out of white and yellow, and I'm going to end up doing the larger solid piece in the white and then offsetting that with the little yellow line. Now obviously these dies, they're made so that the outline can go like directly alongside the outline of the main solid piece. I'm going to do things a little bit differently though and kind of just offset them slightly. So I am using my ruler guide here just to make sure that these solid pieces are kind of straight along the bottom. And then I'm going to add the yellow outline. You can see just slightly down and slightly to the left of the actual solid piece. So I'm just using some liquid glue, some smart glue from scrapbook.com, and again I'm using my little ruler guide to make sure that outline is straight and just carefully adding a few little dots of glue around the outside. It is a very, very thin little outline, and then I can layer those up and just hold them down. I'm just going to use the ruler guide to kind of press them so that they don't get stuck onto my fingers. Now I do want to date stamp this. I've been a little bit, well, not lax. I've chosen most weeks or some weeks not to worry about whether I'm putting date stamping on them or not. This particular week though, obviously it's kind of important to me, so I want to be able to have the dates on there. So I decided to grab a label and I just picked another green one on here. So it kind of serves two purposes. It brings in that kind of label design from the bottom card, but also brings a little bit of that bluey, tealy green color back up into my title card, which is what I wanted. Luckily, I had more than one label because I kind of stuffed up the date stamping. I wasn't being careful enough because this is one of those weeks that covers 2 months, so I have to be a little bit careful with the stamping. So I did have to stamp that twice. And then I'm just going to adhere that down here at the bottom. It covers up a little bit of the numerals, but you can still read that it says 13. I did think that maybe I would leave it like that, but I decided I definitely, it's just a personal preference, but I definitely prefer it when it says week. So I grabbed some white puffy stickers. I think these ones are from Citrus Twist as well, just out of my stash. They don't even have packaging anymore, and I'm going to pop them just on top. It kind of covers up the blank space and adds a little bit more lightness in there. And that's this week all done. This was kind of a special fun week, and I love the change from having like regular everyday activities to just a bit more focus on one particular story. Hey, thanks for watching guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, I'm going to leave a couple videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you again very soon. Bye.